And now, George Faust, Big Board Sports.
While there is much activity across the nation, there is little activity in sports. George, really nothing's going on, nothing much new to report. Everything's been really just postponed in remembrance of all the victims in New York.
That's right. Pretty much a lot of college football decided to, hold off on some games, and the NFL did as well. And we'll tell you about that right now. The events of this past week have thrown our country out of the loop for a little while, understandably so. And with that in mind, the McNeese State Cowboys didn't make the trip to Alabama for the game versus Jacksonville State. It was postponed. No word yet on when or if that game will be rescheduled. The next game on McNeese's schedule, though, is Alcorn State, that to be played at Cowboy Stadium. Over in Baton Rouge, the same goes. LSU Tigers game against Auburn postponed. As of yet, no word about the possibility of rescheduling that contest. The LSU Tigers are scheduled to play Tennessee, the Volunteers, next Saturday in Knoxville. Well, the National Football League is leaning toward keeping a 16-game schedule. The plan entails reducing the playoff field in an effort to make up the 15 games postponed tomorrow and Monday. The plan calls for this week's schedule to be played the weekend of January 5th, which is slated for wild card games. The postseason would begin with 8 teams instead of 12, leaving just one wild card team in each conference. League and team officials and others closely connected to the league tell the Associated Press discussions are continuing. Another plan is still under consideration. Even tonight's Extreme Challenge at the Civic Center had to adjust because of travel problems from Tuesday's event, but their show did go on. We pick up the action in the second event of the night. It featured Jeremy Jimenez against Shannon Holgate. Less than a minute remaining in the round, a punch exchange between the two fighters, and that got the crowd going. And with less than 30 seconds left, a sweep kick put Holgate to the ground, and Jimenez, he went on to win this bout. And that was really an interesting little event out there. It was, kind of like boxing, except everything goes.
Everything goes. Well, it's definitely a way for folks to get out and maybe take their minds off everything else that has been happening, rather.
Sure enough.
Okay, George, thanks. Well, coming up, a Colorado man makes a loud statement about his patriotism in a quiet way. But so does New York. Instead of the flags of the world, one stands alone, much like we may feel at Rockefeller Center.